Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living here, and I'm glad to have my partner, Mr. Jim Fuller, with us on the set today.
And it's good to be here too, John. I don't get to do this a lot, but Peggy's out on other business today, so
she is.
It's very good to stop by and reminisce with you.
Well, it's the time of year. It's springtime, and things are changing, and we're going into a political season, so there's a whole lot of interest in who's doing what and what's doing who.
Exactly.
And who's running for this and who's running for that. So it makes it interesting.
It does. And start with the springtime. I think Wednesday is the first day of spring officially, I believe.
I thought it was today.
It may be today.
It's today.
And as we sit here, then if it's today, the temperature outside is 28 right now, so. But it's going to get better.
This is not the coldest for this day, but I think it's the coldest for the first day of spring, maybe.
Oh, maybe so.
That's what they said. And of course, this is the time of year when things are blooming and flowers are coming up, and the grass starts getting a little green if we can keep the rain away.
Right. Well, yeah, because for the last 2 years it rains every Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Pretty much for the last, because I cut my own grass at my office.
Yeah, sure.
And it's always a challenge because I don't always have time to do that during the week. I can't do it during the week. So you look forward to the weekend when you do have time to do a little yard work. That ain't happening.
Nothing happening.
Most
Nothing
of the time.
happening. Well, it's supposed to rain Thursday this week, and we're supposed to have a pretty weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
So
well, that's
you
good.
mow your grass.
That's good. Hey, I saw something in the paper today about our old friend. He's not actually our close friend. We don't know him, but if you're a UT fan, where Josh Dobbs, the quarterback years back, has just signed another contract, this time with San Francisco. And that guy's amazing in a lot of ways because, number one, he's an aerospace engineer.
Right.
And has a degree in that.
Go to work anywhere he wants to.
Yes, but he has really taken this NFL career he's used it to his advantage, and I'm very proud of him. He signed today, or yesterday rather, with the San Francisco Giants, and his salary this year will be $2.25 million to be the backup to.
Yeah.
I guess it's Brock Purdy who plays quarterback.
Purdy is their new superstar.
And plus he's gotten $750,000 more that he could possibly earn through bonuses and stuff, playing time, and et cetera, et cetera. So, Josh Dobbs started last year for a while for Minnesota, but he's really never had the starting job locked in since he's been in the NFL, which is about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
But he's a pretty smart guy, and aerospace engineers make a lot of money. However,
they don't make $2 million a year.
They don't make $2 million a year, and so he's a good quarterback. Never had the starting job locked in, but he's probably already made about $10 or $12 million in his career. And he hadn't even started doing aerospace.
Yeah, right.
So, you're right. You don't make that kind of money out here.
No, but when you walk away from the NFL, say after 10 years, and you've got $15 million in your pocket.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want to do.
Right.
Pretty much. And the thing about him is he's so smart that he can pick up a system.
Right.
No matter where they put him, because every team's got different systems. But this kid's smart. He's smart enough, and he knows he's good enough to get them through a time when their quarterback's hurt till he gets well, or till they find another one that they want to replace that one with. He can win ball games.
Right.
Maybe not win all of them, but he can keep you in the game until your guy comes back.
Right.
And they know that.
Right.
So that's why he gets to go.
Right, absolutely. But I'm proud of him.
And speaking of sports, we've got the March Madness is coming up. Of course, the Tennessee Vols basketball team is in.
Yeah,
They won the
number
SEC.
Number 2 seed, I think.
Right, number 2 seed. But the thing I saw yesterday in the paper, or a paper I picked up, was a picture of Pat Summitt. The Tennessee women's basketball team has been in, they're the only team that has been in all 42 NCAA tournaments.
No kidding.
Only team that's
Right.
since it's started 42 years ago.
Right.
The Lady Vols are the only team that's made it in every year.
That's an interesting fact there.
It is.
I didn't
It is.
realize that. You said you picked it. First of all, for 2 reasons. You just said that you picked up a paper the other day.
Yeah.
Which not many people do anymore.
You know, we go, and I'm not doing this because it's a advertising or anything, but the Marathon station on Jackson Street,
Yeah.
across from Zaxby's, is on my way home.
Right.
And they also have lawnmower gas there. They have clear gas you can put in your lawnmower.
Right.
They have a paper, because our paper comes out on Wednesday and Sunday. Well, the paper's usually there on Tuesday night and Saturday night. So on my way home, I stop in and get a newspaper, because Fran and I read the newspaper. Their family's been around here forever and ever, amen. So one of the main things that she reads it for are the obituaries.
Right.
To see who's passed away, and if we know any of them, which it's rare that you don't know somebody. and then we read the news,
Yeah.
local news. I mean, how you gonna know if you don't watch us? Because we put a lot of local news on the air. How you gonna know? Well, you can go online and see the news online, Tullahoma News online, or you can stop and pick up paper. And I like to feel something. I like to hold that paper and look through there and see who's advertising, and maybe they'll advertise with us, And speaking about that, anybody out there wants to advertise with us, my number's 581-5238. Give me a call. We got room for you.
That's right. Please call, John.
Please call. And we read the paper.
Yeah.
And Jerry Kennedy, our dear friend who passed away recently, he and Liz were in Chattanooga for years, and the Chattanooga Free Press is one of the really good papers that you can get that has a lot of real good information in it. And so there's newspapers. It's funny when we haven't taken a whole lot of vacations, but when we take a vacation, we usually get in the car and just head out. And the first thing we do, and we don't drive interstates usually, unless we're trying to get somewhere way down the road.
Right.
We'll stop in a small town that we hadn't been in and go in and buy a newspaper. And I'll drive and she'll read me the local news.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's amazing what happens in some of these little small towns we go through. Like
Right.
Tullahoma, it's amazing what happens here.
Right.
So,
Talking about history, this is somewhat historic to Tullahoma, but I'm sure a lot of people might not know, but the American Legion has built the old building
Right.
on North Washington Street. It's not there.
it's gone.
It's gone. And, we talked about that one time before, I think, on this show, and you thought they were going to take the old building at that point and redo it. But that didn't happen. And, I get a lot of people say, did you know it's right next to my office?
Yeah.
Did you know that building's been torn? Yeah, I kind of knew that.
Yeah, you knew.
Yeah, I kind of knew that. And it took them it's amazing how that works. It took them about a week.
Yeah.
To get it.
No, it didn't take long.
It didn't take it long. But that building was built in 1973. And you and I spent a lot of time over the years. But and that was because we worked there. We weren't in there drinking or something, But,
No, we were. We were.
But A lot of
You
members.
can't work and drink at the same time. It just doesn't work.
No, especially if you're working in a bar.
In a bar, no,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah, you and that wasn't all that was the Legion was about.
No,
See
heavens
that-
no. But
see
the
that?
Legion,
No.
and still does do a lot of great work.
And by the way, the Legion is still in operating as a meeting place and such at 109 Northwest Atlantic,
Right.
and so
Right down the street from Daddy Billy's.
yeah, so they are still there.
And you can go over there on Tuesday morning from 8 o'clock till noon
Right,
and have
10,
there's
I think,
coffee.
now.
10, is it 10 now?
It might be 10, it might be 11. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
On Tuesday morning, you can go over there. Yeah, it's from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I'm sorry. And have coffee. They have donuts and stuff. And just go in and talk with some of the guys. The guys all meet up over there. And have,
absolutely, it is a good place to stop and and speak with other veterans or other friends.
Yeah, sure.
Friends there, and
never can tell you.
I think
you might want to
Mick
join.
Barnett cooks sausage and biscuits or whatever
Yeah.
up there every Tuesday.
Yeah,
So-
it's great, great thing. I tell you what we're going to do right now, because I started this last week, reading in this Easter omnibus that I wrote. And last week we read of Burrow and Bowes, and this week we're going to read the one that started this all. It was I love Easter, and I love writing. And I thought, there's so many Christmas songs. You hadn't heard a new Easter song in when? Forever? Irving Berlin?
I probably never have.
And I thought, well, I need to write an Easter song, and I wrote this piece right here, and it never has made it into a song, but it might. This is called Two Pieces of Wood. This is looking at the Easter situation through the cross. There was a man, a mystical man, who traveled an ancient land, and all he passed were altered by his works or the touch of his hand. The fishes he fed, the loaves of bread, the water turned into wine. On a mount he talked, on water he walked, gave sight to the blind, and all who saw believed, but few really understood, until the world was changed forever by two pieces of wood. Two pieces of wood from the last straight dogwood tree made a cross that held the Son of God on the skull of Calvary, a Savior who shouldered the sin of mankind, the essence of all things good. The Holy Trinity there to see nailed to two pieces of wood. As a child he taught the elders. The man soothed the whore at the well. The tax collectors fled before him. The children loved the stories he'd tell. But Rome saw him a threat, and Pilate was given a choice. Put this prophet in his place, or see all you hold dear destroyed. So he was tortured and put on a cross, with a thief on each side. And when the crowd chose Barabbas, the Christ was crucified on two pieces of wood. From the last straight dogwood tree, a cross that held the Son of God on the skull of Calvary, a Savior who shouldered the sin of mankind, the essence of all things good. The Holy Trinity there to see, nailed to two pieces of wood. Yes, the world was changed forever by two pieces of wood. We'll be back after these messages.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer across Stroop.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to have the mayor of Tullahoma here with me this morning, Mr. Ray Noaes. And, you know, I just feel honored today. Jim Fuller's come in here and spent some time with me. And now Mr. Mayor, Mr. Ray Noaes is in here with us. And we're just tickled to have Ray anytime he has time to come and let us know about the wonderful things that are happening in Tullahoma and the things that are happening in your life.
Well, we'll start with the things that are happening in my life, and that is as of end of last week, I did announce that I would not be a candidate for re-election as mayor. So that has set things in motion for me to start looking at, okay, what's my next career going to be? So I've been elected 3 times to serve the citizens of Tullahoma, and I have greatly appreciated the opportunity to serve. It's been some of the times it's been challenging. If you've been watching some of the things that have gone on in our city, it has been challenging. One of my greatest disappointments, I might mention, was the failure of our board to incorporate our 2040 plan for comprehensive development plan.
Yes,
so
agreed.
That was a blow to me because I was so encouraged that we could plan for the future of our city for the next 20 years, but that got set aside, and we've gone back and sort of put Band-Aids on our 2011 plan. So that, but we're still succeeding, and
right.
I know that we will continue to succeed. But we have some challenges in our city, and I just want to lay out for our citizens what I think are some of the major challenges that we have. One being affordable housing. And this is not just my thoughts, this comes from J. Randall Gordon, the commander at AEDC, who is constantly making us aware of the challenges that young professionals have that are going to work at AEDC are having to find a place to live nearby. Most of the young professionals going to work at AEDC are having to work in Murfreesboro or some city.
Live in Murfreesboro.
And commute. And one of the reasons is the housing, unavailable housing in Tullahoma, affordable housing for young professionals. Another issue is the lack of child care in Tullahoma. It turns out that young professionals sometimes have children.
Right.
Young children. and they're having to find childcare in Murfreesboro and commute an hour away to Tullahoma. That presents a problem for any employer where the workforce, young professionals, I shall say, are having to commute in case of a child needing their parents to return to take care of them.
Right.
So that's just some of the things that are going on that I see will be a concern for the future.
To bring people up to speed that might not be up to speed, the federal government is spending a huge amount of money at Arnold Center for this supersonic, the next step in space travel. And it's like an infusion, almost like it was when Arnold Center was built.
That's very correct. The opportunities that young people have for careers in the aerospace are excellent here in Tullahoma, if they could only find a place to live and a place for childcare. So that's big. But there is a great infusion of dollars coming into Arnold Center, and that can be a benefit to Tullahoma, and we should be able to take advantage of that.
Sure.
But you have to plan for that, and that was one of the things that the 2040 plan did, not just addressing housing, but it addressed infrastructure such as the roads and all the schools, things that go along with a growing community. And I want our community to continue to be a growing community, a thriving community. And that's one of the things that plan would have accomplished. And I'm not saying that we can't do it without it, but it would have facilitated that had we adopted that plan.
Well, the thing about it, Ray, to me, is that as that plan was developed, the research into it was done by about 8,000 citizens who went to meetings and voiced their opinion and were on board with this plan. And 150, 200 folks came in and caused it to be kicked to the curb.
Well, for whatever reason, it did get sidelined, and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen elected to go a different route.
Yep.
Say the Board of Aldermen decided to go a different route. I was not in favor of the route that it went, but that's where we are. So now we have to take what we've got and make the best of it. But we've got another election coming forward.
Yes, we do.
And that is an opportunity for people to get out and vote. And I hope that, although I will not be a candidate, I would encourage everyone to be an informed voter.
Right.
One of the greatest things that we have to consider, that need to be considered, is how informed are our voters. Because I've had people say, oh, I don't have time to watch the Board of Mayor and Alderman meetings. I don't have time to read the newspaper. I don't take that. But what can I do to help our city? I say, well, be an informed voter. And they say, oh, I never miss a chance to vote. Okay.
But they don't know what to do when they get
okay,
there.
that is a direct example of what I have experienced. But anyway, with that, my wife and I will start looking for other things to do together now that I'm not going to be a candidate for re-election.
You take pride in many things. This is a good man right here. He's a neighbor and a friend before a mayor. In the game of golf, and the fact that you've done a few things. This guy right here has played golf. He and Ann, his wife, played golf in every state in the United States.
That's correct. A year or so ago, we got on an airplane and flew to Fairbanks, Alaska to play that last state.
That was the last one.
That was the last state, and we did play in Fairbanks, Alaska on the 3rd of September. And we wanted to do it as late in the season as we could. So we pushed it a little bit because the next week in Fairbanks, Alaska, we couldn't have played because the course was covered in snow.
Right.
Well, we got that.
I'm going to ask the question. You might not like for me to ask it. What's your handicap?
The last time I kept a handicap, it was 16, which I'm proud of. That's not a bad handicap. Today, if I went out to play, not having kept a handicap for a year or two, it would not be that.
Not be that good.
It would not be that low. It would be higher.
Yeah. You know, golf's a game that it doesn't really make any difference. It's fun to play.
If you enjoy
whether how good or bad you are, that you can still hit that ball and you can still track it down, and go to the next hole.
But anyway, we've got, with the upcoming election, I just want to encourage everyone to carefully consider the candidates that we'll have. We'll have multiple candidates running for mayor, I'm sure, and we may not have a candidate that gets 50% of the vote.
Okay, one question more before we leave, as we have a little time right here. You said that the board chose to move the election from August to November. Has that actually occurred, or is that still waiting at the state legislature to be approved?
That's still waiting at the state legislature. That has not been approved yet. And who knows whether it will be or not until the flags are lowered from the state capitol for this session. We won't know.
Okay.
So that'll be coming with.
So we might still have an election in August.
That's correct. And one of the things that we could have considered with our election cycle, we could have kept the election in August, and then with multiple candidates running, if we have 7 candidates running for an office, you might get a candidate elected with less than 20% of the vote.
Right.
So we could have put in our chart, this is something that is hindsight, that's not going to be, but we could have kept the election in August and then had a runoff in the November election to get the top 2 and then have a runoff in that November election.
Right.
But that was not done. So we're still just going to elect a mayor with a majority of the vote.
And an alderman and all the other wonderful things that happen.
That's correct.
During election time. Ray, thank you for your service, my friend.
It's my pleasure.
Your friendship and all the wonderful things you and Miss Ann have done for this town. You go out and you go somewhere to an event, guarantee you'll see this guy right here and his bride with him talking to people and selling our city. And you've been a great standard for us.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, John. It's been my pleasure to serve.
Okay, buddy. All right, we'll be back after these messages.
Hi, my name is Ringo. Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is vaping? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us an outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I'm an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, we're talking about Easter coming around the corner, and it is, and Advent started, and there's all kinds of celebrations. And if you look on our set, you'll realize that one of the things that has happened over the years, and you know, I need to research why do we have Easter eggs? Why do we have Easter egg hunts? Because there's Easter eggs. And there's a guy here with us right now who's getting ready to talk about an Easter egg hunt that we hadn't had before, I believe. And this is Mr. Greg Gressel from the South Jackson Performing Arts Center. And are y'all having an Easter egg hunt?
We are, and this is actually our third egg hunt. We did not have one last year.
Okay.
We did not have an Easter egg hunt last year, but this is our third egg hunt, and we're doing it with Cernobia McGee. Cernobia is kind of our master of ceremonies and kind of is taking care of everything. And
hope she sings.
Well, I don't think there's any time for any singing. Yeah, no time for any singing, I don't think. But yeah, we're excited to just provide a free event for the community. All kids are welcome. There's about 4 or 5 categories. If the kid can walk, up to like age 3 or 4, and then another category from there. And they'll all be in different locations throughout the property so that they have the opportunity to find eggs at their skill level and such. And so just a lot of fun for the kids. They can come. It starts at 1 o'clock on March 30th, but they can come early. We're going to have Papa John's Pizza is going to be there giving away free pizza.
Wow.
There'll be free pizza, and there'll be some games set up, and the Easter Bunny will be there for pictures, so you can get your pictures taken with the Easter Bunny early before the egg hunt or later after the egg hunt, whichever works best for you. But yeah, we're looking forward to a great time.
Do you know the story about why there's Easter eggs and there's an egg hunt?
You know, I think I've heard that before, but I cannot bring it to mind. When you were talking, I was like, do I know this story? Seems like I should, seems like I do, but you know, I know which came first, the egg or the egg hunt. It is definitely the egg.
Pretty good.
It's definitely the egg.
The egg has to be first on that.
So, but yeah, I'm not completely sure, but.
Well, you know, so that is the 31st?
30th. The 30th. The 31st is Easter, so it's that Saturday before Easter. It's at 1 p.m. at South Jackson Performing Arts on the grounds there. We'll be set up, and you'll see all the festivities happening, and it'll take place at 1 o'clock.
You know, one thing I like about, excuse me, there's a lot of things I like about Greg, but one of the things I like is he's a purist. And he likes doing things on the day that things happen. And it makes no difference what that day is.
Yeah.
You know, you just had St. Patrick's Day on a Sunday, which is St. Patrick's Day.
Right, it was St. Patrick's Day.
So it was an event held on a Sunday, which people usually don't do. They move it to Saturday because they don't want to mess their weekend up or something. But this guy's a purist. He when the event's supposed to happen, it don't make a difference if it's a Monday night. That's when it's going to happen. And
right.
I just really like that.
Yeah, and you know, it probably wasn't, in some people's mind, the best idea to have on actual St. Patrick's Day because it was on a Sunday and it was a different time. We have Sunday events at South Jackson, but they're normally at 2:30. This was at 4 o'clock. And so it was very different for people and very interesting. But, the whole concept of it was to provide some fun and opportunities for families. And we did have a lot of people come with kids, and they might not have stayed throughout the entire entertainment portions, but they came and did stuff with their kids. And it's just an option rather than going to a restaurant to celebrate, which we support our restaurants. We love that. But just another option for people to come, because if you're at a restaurant, they're kind of wanting you to eat, get done, move out of the way so the next people can come in. So the waiters can make a tip and and make a living. So anyway, just an opportunity. But I do like to have things when they're supposed to be had. Not move it around in crazy times.
Well, whenever I go toward Winchester, I go right here and hit the alley behind our studio. Mm-hmm. And I go through the alley behind the post office all the way down to South Jackson because, of course, Fran worked there for 10 years and I've been involved with it for 40 years or more. However long it's been there, we've been involved. And I always I go to the red light over there by the gas station, but I always go through South Jackson.
Yeah.
And look at the tree that's been carved and look at the windows and I just ride around the building to see what's going on, and because it was supposed to be town center when that piece of property was put on the map when Tullahoma was laid out. That was town center, and it is so wonderful to see activity happening there all the time.
Yeah,
there's some cars in the parking lot just about every day, which to me is wonderful. And those trees at the sidewalk right now. Drive through South Jackson or drive down Jackson Street and look at the sidewalk from Jackson Street up to that building. It is one of the most beautiful pictures you could ever take.
We just released a picture today on our social media accounts, kind of welcoming the first day of spring because it starts this evening. Spring begins this evening, although it's kind of chilly outside. But it's just a picture of the cherry blossoms and the building and the building behind it. It says, stop and take in the beauty of South Jackson Performing Arts.
Who wouldn't want to stop?
And and just thanking our sponsors and supporters because they're the ones that helped make sure that building could be preserved for the future.
And as I went by yesterday to go to the 5-star over there and get fish because it's the best fish in town. Gas station fish. It's best fish in town. I noticed there's being a new roof put on the building.
Yeah, on the second floor of the building. The auditorium roof is fairly new. The office roof is fairly new. But the
old school building.
The old school building portion, the second floor portion of the building needed a new roof. So that is happening right now.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's great. Absolutely great.
And that's the city takes care of that, don't
yes,
they?
the roof is a
that's
city.
Their building.
Yeah, the roof is a city obligation, and we were having some issues, and they've come in and decided what needed to happen.
Thank you, City of Tullahoma.
So yes, they're taking good care of it.
And thank you, Greg Gressel.
Absolutely.
Egg hunt.
There'll be over 10,000 eggs and incredible prizes. You want to be there.
And we will figure out what came first, the hunt or the egg.
I think we know that answer.
We know that. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it all out.
Bring your kids and have a great time. We'll be back after these messages.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash dunking up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
It is time to bring on another one of our, we have so many favorite people. Tullahoma is just full of favorite people because a lot of good stuff goes on in Tullahoma. And the Chamber of Commerce is behind a lot of it. And this young lady, Tisha Fritz, is here to talk to us about
Taste of Tullahoma.
Taste of Tullahoma first.
Let's talk about Taste of Tullahoma.
Taste of Tullahoma. No, I like tasting.
I do too. And I love Tullahoma, so it's perfect.
Two good things.
Yes. So it's spring in Tullahoma. Tomorrow is the first day of spring.
Yes.
And we at the Chamber of Commerce absolutely love bringing our community together all times, but especially when the weather is getting nice outside.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yeah.
So we are going to host Taste of Tullahoma, once again sponsored by Coffee County Bank and put together by the amazing team at Master of Ceremonies at the Tennessee National Guard Armory on Monday, March 25th. We will once again transform that space into such an incredible community event, a food and business expo showcasing all of our favorites from Tullahoma and the surrounding area.
That's outstanding. And last year, of course, it's not just food.
Nope.
A lot of your nonprofits are there. It is a showcase of the best things that take place in Tullahoma with food involved.
Yes.
And anytime, I tell people that come to Tullahoma, they say, well, what do you do around here? And I say, listen, if you get involved in Tullahoma, you can eat at least 2 or 3 meals a week at different clubs or something, and most of the time for free, just by being a member of something. Well, the Taste of Tullahoma is spotlighting
it is
all those wonderful restaurants that we have here intermingled with all the other great things that take place in Tullahoma, like our nonprofits and our different businesses.
Absolutely. And beverages too.
Beverage.
I know. We are so grateful to have L&H Distributing in Cherokee, and we'll have Nearest Green Distillery joining us again, even Pepsi. So it's not just food, it's beverages. And you mentioned you can eat all over for free. This isn't quite free
No,
for
I didn't
everyone.
say it was free. This one wasn't free, but you can eat in this town.
But there is something for free. Kids 12 and under are free, so we're grateful for an event that brings out the entire family. Tickets for everyone else are only $15, and as you mentioned, you're getting tastes from local restaurants, and as I mentioned, all the beverages.
So that $15 covers your
it goes
expense.
Far. Yes, yes.
So you don't have to go pay for a beer, a drink, or a Coke.
Absolutely.
That's part of that.
All included in that ticket. Absolutely.
So think about this. You got 4 kids. For $30, that's 6 of you. You can eat all you want to eat.
Yes.
You can have all the adult or children's beverages. I'm sure there's going to be ice cream, gelato, shave ice, whatever's the newest, greatest thing.
Yes.
Will be there.
It'll
You can feed all of them for $30.
It's a good deal.
That's a deal right there. That's a great deal.
And learn more about your community and all
Yes,
the great things that are going on. As we know, like we said, it's spring and there's so much happening. There's so much to see and do in Tullahoma, and Taste of Tullahoma is our way of showcasing that and telling everybody this is what there is going on here.
Well, and another thing, I'm a veteran, and I was a National Guardsman with the Army out of Tullahoma. And if you haven't been in that new facility out there, it's worth your time to go out there and go see what's out there in our town that's involving the protection of our nation is our National Guard. And you need to be familiar with that facility and the things that go on there, because they as many other things that will be there that day, need your support for what they do.
It's an incredible facility. They've got a great modern indoor, outdoor even, so it's wonderful. We're able to bring a couple food trucks on, and we are just excited that the Tennessee National Guard Armory on Highway 55 is hosting our event again, and we look forward to seeing our community join us for that event.
Well, and the big room, the meeting room that they have where everybody lines up for formation when they first start the mornings is inside.
It is.
In the shade. And then it spills outside into the sun where there's people with tents and stuff out there. So you can be outside and enjoy the outside day, but if you don't, if it's a little bit hot or a little bit cool, you can come inside. I know last year when we were out there was music.
Yes, there'll be music, there'll be a bounce house, and like you mentioned, there'll be tent after tent of businesses who support our community that will be ready to tell you about what they have going on and a little bit more about their businesses.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. That is Monday, March 25th from 4 to 7 p.m. Tickets are $15.
So that's this coming Monday.
It's coming around the corner, yes, absolutely.
This coming Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now, number two.
Number 2.
TED Talk.
TED Talk. Okay, so this is...
Does TED Talk really talk?
There are a lot of inspiring and motivational speakers that will be joining us for TEDx Tullahoma. This event is hosted locally at South Jackson Performing Arts Center. They're the home of TEDx Tullahoma, now included in their lineup of shows for the year. So we're so grateful for that support.
So nationally, people know that there's a TED Talk in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
You right now can go to TED.com and look for upcoming TEDx shows, and you will find TEDx Tullahoma in the lineup.
Now that is something.
It is. It's something to be proud of. It really, as you know, the TED brand is nationally recognized. It's one of those opportunities for our community that bring us to the grand stage and connect us Of course, it's an event that we can all attend. Tickets are available at South Jackson.
And when is that?
That is going to be on Saturday, April 20th.
Okay.
It's a 7 p.m. event. It's a little different. In the past, we've done it in the morning, and it's been kind of a day-long event. Now we're changing it up a little bit, and we're going to have it at night, and then we're going to have an afterglow party at South Jackson.
Afterglow.
Afterglow. Take advantage of the opportunity.
You know, I know this lady is transitioned in her life into a full-time job, but I can't help but say thank you to Robin Dunn.
Yes.
Because Robin Dunn was the spark plug that started this whole thing.
She absolutely was. Robin Dunn approached me about 4 years ago with this excitement and energy and passion to bring TEDx Tullahoma to our community. And she and I, her husband, Josh Dunn.
Josh worked. I know what a working husband does.
Yes.
A lot.
A lot, so much. And we have Philip Scoggins. He's been incredible to help us bring the event. Of course, it happens in person. But these talks, these opportunities for our speakers to share their 18 minutes of something powerful and impactful, they go on and they're visible on the TEDx platform for anyone to see.
Right,
and so we're bringing Tullahoma to the world in that
And let's give a date again.
It is Saturday, April 20th at 7 p.m. at
7
South
p.m.
Jackson.
At the Performing Arts Center.
Performing Arts Center, yes.
Thanks, girl.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Enjoy this great, cool, but sunshiny week we have
First day of
here.
spring tomorrow.
There we go.
Yes.
Spring out of whatever you're doing. Get off the couch, go out, shop local, spend some money here in Tullahoma. We'll be right back. You listen to what our sponsors have to say, then go spend some money with them, because without them, we won't be here. And we like being here.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with sodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop Factory Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Times are very challenging right now, and stress levels are high.
Reports indicate overdoses on the rise in communities across the state of Tennessee.
Those experiencing addiction and their loved ones may be struggling to navigate through all the change.
We want you to know that deaths from overdose are preventable.
And help is available.
Anytime.
Day or night.
How do I know?
How do I know?
I am the face of recovery in Tennessee.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman, and this is
Pat Welch, and we're at segment number 8 of
Yes.
Conversations with John and Pat.
Well, we're trying to keep up with those sessions best we can. They're just flying by, aren't they, Pat?
They're flying by, and our lack of memory, John, will probably, it won't be the length of the programs, it'll be the shortness of memory before we lose out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And perhaps I can get through this song without forgetting the words. You know, that's a little bit embarrassing when I know it's going out to hundreds, thousands, whatever the number might
And
be.
think of the people looking at it on Facebook.
And Facebook, I know. I hope some people, they don't look the segments up when I did miss the words, but there are other good content there. There's other good content.
Correct. Yeah, I think
your stories.
I think we and
I enjoy
you,
your stories, Pat.
we adapted well.
This is about riding the school bus at Chapel Hill. This is called Old P-31. I remember long ago having so much fun, riding back and forth to school on old P-31. That great big yellow school bus was so much fun back then. If I could, I know that I would do it all again. Doc Harris was our driver, the world's most patient man. He never raised his voice at us, and I couldn't understand. Spitballs and screaming young'uns, fist fights and pulling hair. Doc kept right on driving like we weren't even there. Like a dust storm in the distance, like a mini hurricane, you could hear P-31 a-coming down those country lanes. That old bus would rock from side to side while Doc would make his run, and we'd be hanging out the windows on old P-31. It was back on old P-31 that I learned to cuss the street. Gene Walls was my instructor, and I really caught on quick. I recall those backseat smoochers, Betty Lou and Jim. Always wished that he was me, and I wished that I was him. Like a dust storm in the distance, like a mini hurricane, you could hear P-31 a-coming down those country lanes. That old bus would rock from side to side while Doc would make his run, and we'd be hanging out the windows on old P-31. Then one day Doc stopped at school like he'd done 1,000 times. What I saw walking to the front made me think that I'd been blind. The secret of Doc's patience caused looking very near. I could see a wad of cotton stuff down both his ears. Like a dust storm in the distance, like a mini hurricane, you could hear P-31 a-coming down those country lanes. That old bus would rock from side to side while Doc would make his run, and we'd be hanging out the windows on old P-31. We'd be hanging out the windows on old P-31. Old P-31, Pat.
Well, that's not,
You didn't ride the school
magnificent?
bus, I don't think, because you were a Tullahoma young man.
We still do not provide transportation.
Yeah.
And,
I want Philip, by the way, to pull up that picture of the old bus drivers.
Which one is Doc?
Doc
John?
Harris is second to the right.
Okay.
Harding Chapman's on the left, Mr. Hugh Harris, Jack Palmore, Doc Harris, Jack Sherfield. Now those guys, you know, they drove the bus. I'm sure they're bus drivers just like they were. Back then, about most of everybody smoked, you know, and I can remember, you know, more than Mr. Jack Sherfield, for instance, he would smoke a cigar. And one day I mentioned
while they were driving.
Yeah, and he was. I've said something. I was just a kid, and being cute. I said something about his stinking good cigar. And he stopped the bus. He said, well, you can get off if you want to.
It smelled good then, didn't it, John?
It smelled all right. Jack, I was just kidding. I tried to get on good terms with him from then on. I knew he didn't. I knew it meant business.
Well, I was kind of grasping. I knew you were going to get the gig in that Tullahoma doesn't have school buses, but we do have school buses for athletic events and extracurriculars and so forth. And my senior year in high school, which had been in football season, it'd be 1971, the fall of '71, our bus driver was Mr. Dameron. And he lived. Norman Dameron lived on Avoca Road and Riley Creek. Start that Y
well,
there.
You can't fill in the blanks, Pat. I can.
You're doing great. Yeah. Hopefully you won't know this story. But when we came back from every football trip for the first part of the year on, it was a really tight curb, and you couldn't hardly get a bus around it without catching the back tires on one side on that curb, and that thing go boom, bam, and everybody sitting in the back, of course, just absolutely rattled their teeth out. The last home game, we had won it, and everybody was feeling great, and nobody said a word. Nobody was putting pressure on him or kidding him, but it got really quiet as the last chance of the year to miss that curb. And there again, you couldn't get it in there, but about maybe a quarter inch or half inch to spare, and he made it. And the team gave him a stand ovation, and Mr. Dameron was really pleased with himself.
Mr. Dameron, he's a good fellow.
He was a great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
And but Mr. Hugh Harris, he's one of those guys in that picture. I would occasionally, he was friends with my parents and our family, and occasionally I would ride the rest of the way to his house and stay all night with him, and I had a good time. And he'd give me a pocket watch every so often. He used a pocket watch, and it wasn't real collectible or anything like that. But he was a good old man, and he loved me, and I loved him. Sat in church with him many times, because he was just a great old guy. But I remember I felt sort of bad about it, but I was too greedy. I remember selling his pocket watch several times on the campus, after he'd given it to me. It's a childhood memory I'd rather forget now. Oh, man.
John, you reckon they rode school buses back on football trips in 1932?
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, that's one of the earliest segments we mentioned that I had gotten graciously received from the Allen family, a whole lot of Tommy Allen's football research and memories and so forth, and somebody gave him a really small tablet that was full of reports from the Nashville Banner, Chattanooga Times, Chattanooga News, the Tennessean, and of course Tullahoma Guardian, and it's going through here, and the press, they really.
Fast, Pat.
Okay, we're getting close. Okay, well, this will be a great way to end it with a little controversy. It's incredible how the media attacks one another about being homers.
Yeah.
But I think if you're employed by University of Tennessee to broadcast their games, you ought to be for UT, and the same way for Alabama and MTSU and so on and so forth. But it was a lot worse back in the 30s and 20s and so forth. And Tullahoma got beat 7-0 in 1932. And this is from the Tullahoma Guardian concerning that game. Headlines: Fayetteville takes game from THS. And as you listen, you'll see that they've got a double meaning for that take. Fayetteville High took the game from Tullahoma High last Friday with the accent on the took. According to the scoreboard, the score was 7-0. According to spectators, the deal handed out to THS by Fayetteville officials, one of the rottenest ever witnessed in an assemblage of football fans.
We're still mad about it. Go ahead.
That's what it sounds like. If the accusations are true, the relations between the two schools should be severed by the officials of Tullahoma High. The game teamed with unfair decisions and unjust penalties. It's the first time the Tullahoma player has been cursed by an official from the opposing team. Tullahoma showed improved tackling and blocking over their work in other games this season and outplayed the Lincoln Countyites throughout the game, but off-color decisions beat them out of the game. Now that, John, is what you call a real homer from the press.
Well, we're done
and
today.
That probably wraps us up.
That was a great story. I love that sort of stuff. I like controversy.
Yeah. As long as we're not in the middle of it. John and I watch controversy a lot better than we participate in.
That's right.
And that is the end of the conversations today. And number 8 is down in the history books. It's not over, sports fans, unless management says it is.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and after the, this roller coaster came right down to the bottom, then it went to the top, then it came to the bottom, and we usually pick somebody up when they come to the bottom, but this guy that's here right now, he just came floating in from the top and landed on the top of the roller coaster, and when we got to the bottom, then I got on, and I found Don Jones sitting in that seat, and he's come today. He's got a banjo in his hand.
And I'm not afraid to use it.
And what Don, he's not. And what Don's going to do is explain to us a little bit about the banjo that most people don't understand. It's more than a bluegrass instrument.
Oh, absolutely. The turn of the century, there was actually a thing. It was called classical banjo, just done with nylon string open back banjos, and they played pretty well classical music on it, which is way over my head right now, but I used a different application. The first thing that make you want to play the banjo is that sound you hear from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Right.
Wow, that sounds so cool. I got to get one. That's the first thing I thought. Of course, I was young, 18, 19. And you want to make those things as loud. You want to make them race cars, and you want to make them go fast.
Right, right.
Well, the older I get, I found out I couldn't play that fast anymore anyhow. And I play more guitar than banjo. And I had a little bout with carpal tunnel, and it brought me back to the banjo.
Yeah.
Because this part was easier on the hand I had the problem with. So I started playing it again, but first thing I did was lose the picks.
Yeah, that's one thing. First thing that somebody came in and asked Don, said, well, where's the picks on your fingers?
Well, I grew up in a house full of mostly women around, and they don't want to hear that peck and all. It can really irritate you, so I had to quiet down just for the family. But I really like the tone better, and you can play sweet songs on it. They don't have to be fast. And I found that if you let the banjo sing and don't let notes bleed all over each other, it actually has a pretty tone.
Well, you know, I've always thought that songs and music needed space. You know, a lot of these folks want to get as many notes as they can in that 2.5 minutes or however long it is. But if you really hit a good one, the listener doesn't know it because it's covered up by the next note.
Exactly
so
right.
So you need to leave space in there to where the music can breathe.
Breathe, that's it.
So breathe us one, Don.
Well, I'll do a little medley. John seems to like it. It's Stephen Foster songs. They're basically simple songs, but I slow them down and let them breathe. I made a medley of 3 of them. Big breath. I'm sorry. I was just telling John that's been in the car all morning. That's a good breath, isn't it? Thank you.
That right there, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, you just can't find that anywhere, unless you're sitting right in here with me, or you're watching this on our network or on our YouTube channel. That's a Don Jones original right there.
Well, it's an original arrangement.
The medley is, isn't it?
The medley is. It's an arrangement of just American music.
American music,
About as
and
American
the
as you
little
can get.
the little piece that you use in the middle,
the interlude,
the transfer piece, is absolutely spellbinding.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know, when you get to where you're listening to that, and you're listening to these other pieces, and then all of a sudden that piece disappears, and you go back to that little interlude, you're thinking, it's just delightful. You're thinking, you know, what's going to be next that's going to just be marvelous, because I just think it's an incredible arrangement that you did.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And the banjo. What about the way that banjo sounds compared to Billy Strings or somebody like that?
You can't take away from those guys.
No, you
Balin,
can't, but
it's a whole different style.
Yeah.
It's just a different application.
Sure.
Just a same tool.
A friendly application. How about another application, Don?
Here's I play show tunes on a banjo.
I know you do.
How radical is that?
I think it's marvelous.
If I can get this thing to cooperate and get in tune.
Now, what is that? What is that instrument there?
This instrument.
The banjo. It's a banjo, but what? Whose is it? Yours? It's a.
Oh, this is an old Gibson pot with a neck that I put on it.
And so, if you're looking at this banjo and you're looking down here for a tuning key, which is usually where it is.
That's what you're talking about. I play it upside down and back. It's supposed to be played like this.
And
with
that
the
tuning
strings.
key's never in the
And
play.
usually, if for a right-handed player, it's got a peg that comes up here.
Right.
Well, since I turned it over and played upside down, that'd be in my way.
So you
I
moved it up here. All right. So now let's get a show tune out before we have to go. Come to the cabaret.
Thank you.
You know, Tullahoma is just an amazing place. There's just so many wonderful people that live around here that are attracted to this area. Don, excuse me, Don, what attracted you to this area? You could have lived anywhere you wanted to, and you're living in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
I have no clue.
Lakes, golf courses?
No, nothing in particular. Probably a relationship I developed here had a lot to do with it.
Well, yeah, that usually does it. That'll do it. That'll do it.
You don't have to hold that in front of your face.
Oh.
So we got 5 minutes left. Is that what we have left?
Yes, and then you
Huh?
close the show.
Close the show. We're going to close the show. We're going to use 5 minutes to close the show. As far as I'm concerned, Don's going to play music. And I'm going to wave goodbye. I'm going to tell you goodbye right now. Thank you for watching. And as our Mayor, Ray Noah, said, become an educated voter. And, take time to go out and vote in our local elections, because it's important that you feel like you're represented, and make sure that you go out and find out who it is out there that's running that you feel like can represent you, and go pull the trigger on them. Don't sit at home and complain if you don't go vote. That's the way it goes. And Don's going to play us probably voting. We ought to play some racetrack music. Give us another show tune if you can, or whatever you want to do.
Well,
Don
here's
Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
More Stephen Foster. How's that sound?
I love it. My song is on an album with Stephen Foster. Never figured I'd have a song on an album with Stephen Foster, Ron Jones, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time.